Yeah, boy. And you are now tuned in to another episode of Oh You a Knicks podcast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this. It's only preseason. It's only preseason. But I must say that when you look at the Knicks preseason game against Detroit, and I'm going to get a little bit into Killian Hayes too, because as you guys know, I made a video a while back about Killian Hayes, gushing all over him. You know how I do. Just totally in love with the kid's game. But I made a video, discussing him and, all the things that he brings and, things of that nature. And I'm going to touch base on that in just a little bit. What we're going to be doing today on this episode is basically reviewing what we saw in the preseason game. Basically giving you guys my take of what I seen, who I think needs to get the heck off the Knicks, who I think needs to up their game a little bit, RJ Barrett. But, overall, I must say that it was a very, very, fulfilling preseason game. When I watched it, I didn't expect to see, any high flying or let's say a lot of jump shots, a lot of things moving the way the offense was intended to be moved. So when I looked at the game, it was pretty sloppy. Yeah, it was definitely pretty sloppy. But Obi Toppin saved the day. He came in with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter, quickly dropped off 9 buckets on these guys, and just immediately took the league on by surprise. Obi. That's basically what I seen from Obi Toppin last night. Could he work on his cross-court passing game? Yes, he could. But what I seen from this kid is that, yes, he's the athlete we believed him to be. What I seen from Obi Toppin, yes, we can confirm. He does play defense. Now, is he a good interior defensive player? No, by all means, Obi Toppin is not. We're not going to sit up there and act like this kid is Anthony Davis in the paint when it comes to defending. But as far as the passing lane goes, I very, very, very was impressed. I was very impressed. I have to say that about Obi Toppin. He played the passing lane very good a few times. He also forced a turnover with playing the passing lanes. And we have to give a lot of the credit due to Tom Thibodeau, because if you know anything about Tom Thibodeau and how he runs his defensive sets, he implores his team to stop the other team from finishing out their plays. That means do whatever you can do to disrupt that play from continuing. And that's something that we've seen from not only Obi Toppin, but we saw from the Knicks, especially in the beginning of the half. Now, would I say that there's still like deficiencies in their three-point defense? Yes. But I believe in Tom Thibodeau. I believe in Tom Thibodeau. I believe in Kenny Payne. I believe in Mike Woodson. I believe in the coaching staff that the Knicks have, that they'll watch the film and they'll get those type of things in order. But what I seen from Obi Toppin is an assertive player who is an offensive beast and who not only can kill you on the offensive end, but if you try to play him sweet on the defense end, he can also catch you by surprise, just like he did last night with me, because I myself didn't think that Obi Toppin was a defensive player in no shape or form. I believe that he was a defensive liability, even though I believe that his offense outweighed his lack of defense. I still believe that Obi Toppin was a defensive liability. And in some cases, yes, I am right, because we seen him get pushed out the paint by Jahlil Okafor a few times when he got boxed out. I seen Stewart from Rochester. I seen him also, try to block Obi Toppin out the paint, and he's smaller than Obi Toppin. You get what I'm saying? Obi Toppin has to find his way into the interior on the defensive end. He has to read the opposing team's offense in order to know that they're about to take a shot, so he can block out. A perfect person for Obi Toppin to look at when it comes to things of this nature is Enes Kanter. If you know anything about Enes Kanter, by the time the ball is in the air, he's fighting for the rebound. Whether it's going in or whether it's not going in, it doesn't matter with Enes Kanter. He's gonna fight for that rebound. You get what I'm saying? So if Obi is to advance in that field, because he can rebound. I think he finished with like 7 rebounds last night, 11 points, 7 rebounds, a couple of assists. If he can read the offense of the opposing team better and get in position when a shot is taken, I truly believe that Obi Toppin will become a great defense rebounder or a great offensive rebounder. But he does need to fight for his position in the paint. And that is something that Obi Toppin is truly lacking in. Another thing about Obi Toppin that I noticed last night, he wants that ball. Every time he got into the paint and he established his position in the offense on the offense inside the paint, he made something happen. That's something that we have not seen on the Knicks in a while. And I'm gonna get to him because I know who y'all know who I'm referring to, Julius Randle, when I say these things. You get what I'm saying? Obi Toppin established his position and dominated in the paint. And that's something that the Knicks have lacked since Carmelo Anthony was in the league. Was on the team. Because if you know about Kristaps Porzingis, he did not dominate in the paint as much as he should, being a 7'3" center. He mostly was on the face-up, pull-up jumper, or break you down with his handle and get to the rim and then score inside the paint. As far as like a backing you down in the post, Kristaps Porzingis wasn't doing that. That was Carmelo Anthony's job. So the Knicks have not had a dominant paint scorer since Carmelo Anthony until last night. Until Obi Toppin took the floor and showed us exactly what he can do when he is on the floor and inside of the paint. I seen this kid, he did some really remarkable things in the post last night. And I have to applaud him for it. Because it was special. The way that he moved his feet. The way that he established position inside of the paint was remarkable. His up and unders, his drive to the basket, his attention to the other players, where he was able to catch open players, even though we have to say that his cross-court passing needs work. And he needs to differentiate when to make that pass and when not to make that pass. But the simple fact that his IQ was aware that these players were open for a corner three made it all the difference. This what brings me to Julius Randle. We seen Julius Randle do the same thing. What happened? He got tripped up in the paint, wrapped up, and he couldn't go nowhere. Through the entire night, family, this kid sat up there and drove in the paint and tried the same spin move. And what happened? He got his shot blocked like 5 times. He lost the ball 2 times. Not to mention, even though he only got 2 turnovers that night, that doesn't escape the fact of all the times that he got double teamed and trapped inside of the paint and lost the ball, and we just happened to regain it back. Julius Randle is an eyesore. What good is 20 and 10 if it's hollow stats? What good is 20 and 10 if it's not bringing a win? We were down, mind you. We were down. It took for Obi Toppin, Frank Ntilikina, Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox to come off the bench and make things happen for the Knicks. On the starting lineup, it was who? R.J. Barrett, Elfrid Payton, who basically established the offense when Julius Randle this kid continuously went inside of the paint, did a spin move, either got wrapped up in the double team or he lost the ball or it was blocked. Is that the type of leader that you feel that you need on your team? Yes, he got a 6 assists. But what good is 6 assists when they're not bringing forth a win? See, this is the thing that gets me with some of these people. And when it comes to Julius Randle, right? Julius Randle will literally have 30 points in garbage time. Basically meaning that the game is already over, but he's still accumulating stats. That's empty stats. That is hollow points. How can you call yourself a leader of the team where you got 4 other players begging you for the ball? We seen it last night. R.J. Barrett begging him for the ball. Everybody on the court begging this dude for the ball. You see him, he gets the rebound. What does he do? He walks the ball up. While everybody is running, he's the only one that has the ball, and he's walking up the court. What does that tell you about Julius Randle? He is not meant to be the leader on a team. He is your 3rd option, if not your 4th. No way. I don't even care about him making all the money that he's making. It's plenty of players making good money, Lou Williams, that's coming off the bench. We have to get it through our head that just because our front office, our old front office besides Scott Perry and, the owner, our front office chose to go get Julius Randle. Is Julius Randle a good player? Sure. Can Julius Randle score? Sure. Can he rebound? Sure. Can he win you games? No. He is not a winner. Why? Because his IQ, the same passes that I told you guys that I want Obi Toppin to work on, Julius Randle doesn't even attempt those type of passes. The type of passes that Julius Randle gets are the passes where it's already set up in the offense for him to make that pass. Or the person is right there in his line of sight. That means that he's only one-dimensional when it comes to passing. He's either a one-dimensional passer on the play that's being ran or the person that's within his eyesight. He's not surveying the entire floor of all the players that may be. Because think about it. Every time he goes into the paint, what happens? It is a double team. What does a double team mean? That there's a player on your team that's being left open. When you go inside of the paint and you draw the double team, the natural instinct of a player, if you don't have a clear shot at the basket, what do? You pass it out to the open player. And if that player happens to have an open shot, they'll take the shot. If the defense recovers and get to that player, what do you see the team do? They pass the ball around until they find the open player with the best shot who will take it and most likely make it. But if the person who's inside of the paint, who's supposed to initiate that entire play, is not surveying the court and seeing the other players and constantly getting wrapped up, getting his shot blocked, getting the ball stole, getting it knocked out of bounds, that stops the play. That stops your other teammates from being open. You can't see them. So many times we saw RJ Barrett wide open. Yeah, of course, he missed a couple of shots in the beginning. He went 0 for 6 in the beginning, but that's only preseason jitters and rust. We know RJ Barrett is a scorer, and Tom Thibodeau don't ever put RJ Barrett at that small forward ever again. Alex Burke, I feel, is a good player, but he needs to come off the bench. That is his role. He's a pivotal bench player. RJ Barrett needs to be at the 2. If you can and if you must, put either Kevin Knox or Obi Toppin at the 3. And I know I'm going to get killed for a lot of people saying Obi Toppin at the 3. Well, if you look last night, you'll see that his footwork, even though it's coming along, Kenny Payne has done wonders with Obi Toppin's footwork. If you looked at Obi Toppin when he was in college, he kept his feet together, which takes your balance out of the equation. If you're standing not only flat-footed, but with your feet close together, you're not on balance. You're only using top heavy. You're not using your bottom heavy. And if you are anything of a power forward or center, you know that being bottom heavy, that means strong with your legs, strong with your stance, that is pivotal to the advancement of your game. You have to have your footwork down pat if you are a power forward or a center. If you're a basketball player anyways, you need to have your footwork down pat. That was something that Obi Toppin was lacking when he came into the league. You get what I'm saying? Kenny Payne, we saw the video, has been working with him. And if you noticed last night when he was posted up in the paint, his feet were spread apart. I seen a couple of instances where they were close, but for the majority of the game, his feet were spread apart and his bottom half was heavy. That was making it difficult for them to knock him out of his space. He needs to do the same thing when he's on defense and in the paint. You get what I'm saying to you guys? But Julius Randle, this kid, oh my God, man. I'm so tired of talking about Julius Randle. It's making me sick to my stomach. I'm tired of this kid. He should not have even been on the team at the start of the season. He should not be on the team at the start of the season, Coach Chips. Get him out of here. He's worthless. Not one thing, and I mean this, not one thing that I saw from Julius Randle made me happy. Obi Toppin played less minutes than Julius Randle and still pulled out more points. RJ Barrett struggled in the first half and still was the leading scorer on the team. Julius Randle came in and made mistake after mistake. See, the problem with Julius Randle is they put it in his mind that he's the leader of this team. When he got that paycheck and he seen that it was going to total up to $18 million minus all the taxes and stuff taken out, he said, I'm the man. That's what Julius Randle said. He said, I am the man. This is my team. And I don't blame him for it. But once he got on the court and he presented his game to all of us, we realized he wasn't. We realized that that role wasn't for Julius Randle. But guess who didn't realize that that role wasn't for Julius Randle? Yeah, you got it. Julius Randle. He has to realize that he is not the leader of this team. That he is not the prime scorer on this team. That he is not the alpha dog on his team. Let me give you a reason. First of all, he can't take pressure. He doesn't take pressure good at all. If you notice anything about Julius Randle, when he gets criticism, what does he do? He comes to the interview, he got the mad look on his face. You remember when he first got to the Knicks? And he got that contract and he was talking about, everybody was talking about, oh, he's going to be the leader. Everybody was happy. Every interview, Julius Randle was happy-go-lucky smiling. Got his new chains on. Keep quoting, oh, I'm the leader of this team. But soon as the people realized that Julius Randle wasn't the leader of the team, what did we see from Julius Randle? Sometimes he kept his media short. All the time he looked mad. Now he looks mad every time he talks to the media. Now he looks bored every time he talks to the media. Now he looks like he wants to leave as soon as he sits down with the media. Why? Because he's letting all of this go to his head. Prima donna. When your skill set doesn't warrant you to be a prima donna. Your skill set doesn't warrant you to act like you are the leader. Them kids ain't listening to you. You know who they listening to? Frank Ntilikina. You know who they listening to? Tom Thibodeau, coaching staff, but they are not listening to Julius Randle. No matter how many times Obi Toppin tell you guys, like, look, he's teaching me this, he's teaching me that. Guarantee when they go back, Obi Toppin's whole focus is to get Julius Randle up out of here. And I can't wait till he does. Unless Julius Randle remarkably just changes his entire game. Julius Randle will be a good player if he didn't try to control the ball. That is not his forte. Your forte is to get open so you can either get an outlet or you can get an interior pass for an easy dunk. Your game is not to dribble, turnover. That is not the way your game is supposed to be. But I'm tired of talking about Julius Randle. Something definitely needs to be done. Still got some more things. Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox came in very, very strong. I like his whole entire game. I like his form. He seems more stronger. I love that block that he gave. That was a very good block. He swallowed. Who was that he was guarding? I believe it was Derrick Rose, who he got the block on. Remarkable. Kevin Knox looks stronger. Kevin Knox looks healthy. He looks conditioned. He looks like he's ready to be on that starting lineup. He's gotten quicker. His footwork is better. His drive to the basket, even though he missed a couple of them, if you look at the way that he made his cuts and he ran the floor and cut to the interior of the paint, Kevin Knox is ready. Some may say that he's not ready to come off the bench to be a starter, that he should still be relegated to coming off the bench, but I disagree. I believe that Kevin Knox should be our small forward. A starting lineup of, let's say, Dennis Smith Jr., R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, and I have to say Nerlens Noel from what I seen from Mitchell Robinson last night, and we'll get to Mitchell Robinson after we talk about Kevin Knox. But that starting lineup right there, I believe, would be a problem. Kevin Knox is fast. He is strong. He playing defense, something that everybody can attest to was something that we wanted to see from Kevin Knox. Not too much to say about him, because he didn't have a big role last night. But from what we did see from Kevin Knox, I'm very surprised and I'm very happy. I liked everything that I saw from Kevin Knox. Since we was talking, about Mitchell Robinson, let's just get to Mitchell Robinson for a little spec here. And I'm going to have a talk with Mr. Mitchell Robinson. You put up a stat the other day saying, where's the loyalty? We know exactly what you were talking about. From the time that you put up that stat, I knew that Nerlens Noel would be starting. I knew that you was in your feelings. And because I knew that you were in your feelings and you hadn't played a game yet till yesterday, I was riding with you. I felt the same way about you being our starter. From your videos, from you taking your threes, dribbling with your handle, driving to the paint, I believed in you, Mitchell Robinson. I believed in you until last night. Did you fall off from your defense? No. You're still a great defensive player. You had a lot of steals, too. I like you in that passing lane. You're awesome. But the fouls. You can never stay on the court. You keep getting fouls. You have to know. You ever heard that song with the Texas Hold'em? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Use that term in basketball sense. Know when to jump and know when not to jump. We've seen countless times of you let either a slower center or a bottled up guard get you out of your comfort zone to where you make difficult decisions that really doesn't help your game at all, Mitchell Robinson. The 3 points that you say that you've been working on, you had an open 3 last night. Why didn't you take it? It's preseason. Let us see what you're working with. It's not like the game is really going to count towards the season record. Let us see that you are what you're working on. Let us see that you are taking the initiative to bring out your game to where you're hitting threes. Let us know, but on live, while we're watching live, that you can hit the shots that we've seen that you hit on video against regular neighborhood basketball players. Do you understand me? It's pretty much all I have to say about Mitchell Robinson. I wasn't impressed. Nerlens Noel, he came out and he did his thing. He got a few blocks. He even hit a mid-range jumper, pulled out, hit a mid-range jumper, showed us what he could do with the alley hoops and interior defense, and I was impressed. It was something that I knew Nerlens Noel could do, that I knew that he would do, but I thought that you, Mitchell Robinson, would do better. And what I seen last night didn't validate any of my previous thoughts about you. So, when you make indirect quotes on Twitter and Instagram and all of these things saying that where's the loyalty? Loyalty has to be earned in this case. How can I put you out on the floor if I can't trust you to stay on the floor? If I can't trust you to stretch and bring out the defense, to make the defense play honest with you. They're leaving you open for a clear path to make a 3. And from what you've told us, this is the part of your game that you've been working on. How are you supposed to validate that if you never give yourself the chance, Mitchell Robinson? But that's pretty much all I got to say about Mitchell Robinson. Who else showed out? I wish Immanuel Quickley definitely could have played. I wanted to see something from Immanuel Quickley. Miles Powell too, but more IQ than Miles Powell. I wanted to see Immanuel Quickley come on that second unit. I already knew that he wasn't going to be a starter, but I wanted to see him come off the bench, and I wanted to see, could he transition his three-point shooting from college to the NBA? Because I believe that Immanuel Quickley can easily become a starter on the Knicks from his shooting alone. If that was any reason to move RJ Barrett to the small forward spot, I would be all with it. If Immanuel Quickley had to take on the shooting guard role, that's the only way I will keep RJ Barrett at the small forward spot, because small forward is not the right thing for RJ Barrett. He struggled mightily, even though the shots that he was missing at first were kind of open. So it really didn't, give you too much insight on his, the position that he was playing at that time. But I like RJ Barrett as a shooting guard because he's most likely going to be stronger than the shooting guard that he's facing. And he'll still be able to keep up the pace with them on the defense. They wouldn't be able to manhandle RJ Barrett. The majority of small forwards that's in the NBA currently at this point in time are stronger than RJ Barrett. You get what I'm saying? So it would make no sense for him to be your small forward if he can't do small forward things. You get what I'm saying to you? So I would only want to see RJ Barrett at the small forward spot if our shooting guard is Emmanuel Quickly, or let's say Austin Rivers. Because I believe that once Austin Rivers come back, he will literally solidify himself on that starting lineup. I truly believe that. Either he's going to knock Peyton out as the point guard, or he's going to make RJ Barrett have to move up to the small forward. I see Austin Rivers holding more than a bench role on this team coming up. I believe that they would have started Austin Rivers at the shooting guard spot with Elfrid Payton at the point and RJ at the 3 if Austin Rivers wasn't hurt. You get what I'm saying to you? So that's the only issue I really have with that. Other than that, RJ Barrett is an awesome player. He scored 15 points, had a few rebounds, had a couple of assists. The kid is going to be a star. I don't know why a lot of Knicks fans don't see the star potential in RJ Barrett like I do, but I definitely see a Jimmy Butler in RJ Barrett. I definitely see. It's like when I look at RJ Barrett, I see Jimmy Butler written all over him. You get what I'm saying to you? He just needs to, let's say, bulk up a little bit, get a little bit stronger, and have a more of a defensive mentality. But I truly believe in my heart that Tibbs will bring that out of RJ Barrett. I love the way that he came out in the second half, even after struggling in the first half. The kid came out on a tear. He showed you why he deserves to be on that starting lineup. He showed us why they drafted him with the 3rd overall pick. RJ Barrett is our future star. Obi Toppin is our future star. I feel like I'm gonna get killed for this, but I truly believe it. Kevin Knox is our future star. What I seen from these 3 guys last night totally won me over. Again, even though I was already there, they just won me over even more with seeing the potential that these 3 gentlemen will have on that court in the future. And I hope that all 3 of them remain, no matter who else comes and goes. RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, and Obi Toppin. These 3 guys, I truly hope that they are the focal point of our team for the future. Everything else is null and void, but those 3 guys, I truly believe that they are future stars of the league. They are going to be a big 3 if the Knicks keep these 3 gentlemen together. Another thing that I noticed about last night's game is Coach Tibbs. Coach Tibbs is not taking any chances. He is not playing around. And it's kind of something that I like and something that I don't like. I'll say the part that what I don't like first, because I don't like the fact that, yes, we do have veterans on the team and they do have more IQ than some of our younger players, but their skill set is not better than our younger players. But in the case of that, Tom Thibodeau doesn't care. He worries more about your IQ than what your skill set really is. In some cases it's good, in some cases it's not. The one thing that I've always believed, that the best experience, the best teacher for a young player is to be in the game. if you giving them playing time to where they can adjust to the game and see the game at a first-person point of view instead of watching someone else play it, watching a vet play it, if they're physically in the game and given a lot of minutes in that game, they will adjust to the game. You get what I'm saying? I believe that Tom Thibodeau should give our younger players more minutes, something that he is not keen on doing. We witnessed him do that in Minnesota. We witnessed him do it in Chicago. We witnessed him do it everywhere he goes. He's not a young player coach. Does that mean that he's not a developmental coach? I'm trying to differentiate that. Is Tom Thibodeau a developmental coach? Can he develop his players? Because what it seems is he prefers older vets over young stars. So you guys who view my video, write down in the comment section on whether or not, and oh yeah, since we're talking about the comment section, if you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. Please hit that notification button. Please share to all your Knicks family and friends and homies and homegirls, girlfriends, boyfriends, whoever you are with at that point of time. Put them on to this channel. We want to make this one of the biggest Knicks channels in the world. So I need for you guys to do that for me because I know that you're entertained. Are you entertained? Are you not entertained? I'm pretty sure that you are. But like I was saying, Tom Thibodeau, man, I really think that he needs to utilize his young players like Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, IQ, Miles Powell. These guys have a lot of potential, and I believe that they will eventually be something worthwhile in the league. Even if they're not, all-star potential, I believe that they could be at least Miles Powell and Emmanuel Quickly, and even Kevin Knox to a degree. I believe that they could be good role players on any championship team. And if Obi and RJ just happen to turn out to the stars that we know that they can be, with the supporting cast of Knox, let's say Emmanuel Quickly, Miles Powell, and even Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. to that degree, if these guys can be good role players, solid role players, the Knicks will be a championship team in no time. You get what I'm saying? Trying to think of what else to talk to you guys about. What else did I notice from that game? Oh, Alex Burke, I know he does not need to be a starter. He's a good player, and he came out better in the second half, but I truly believe that coming off the bench is a better role for Alex Burke, for the simple fact of the matter is he won't have that much defense focused on him by coming off the bench with that second unit. I believe that his shot will be more pure. I believe that he'll get more open shots, or even he'll be more of a focal point of the offense, because him being on that starting lineup, I don't see him being the focal point of the offense, especially with Julius Randle being there. This kid is freaking terrible. And I'm trying to stay away from Julius Randle, guys, and let me just get away from him and keep talking about Alex Burke. But Alex Burke, I believe that he's more suited for us coming off the bench. Who else is more suited for us coming off the bench? Oh yeah, Mitchell Robinson. He's definitely more suited coming off the bench. I think that Kevin Knox needs to be a starter. Yep. I think Obi needs to be a starter. Julius needs to get traded. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my take, really, on the Knicks preseason game. I mean, it was pretty good. Oh, Killian Hayes. Oh my God, Killian Hayes disappointed me last night. Even though we was playing against him, I still wanted to see him go off. He just solidified himself back to that bench. You remember when we first came, when the preseason first started, Dwayne Casey said that Killian Hayes was going to be a starter. over Derrick Rose. I don't see that being possible. He needs to bulk up. He needs to get stronger. Killian Hayes needs to get stronger. He needs to. I seen a couple of good passes from him, but he needs to work on his right. Basically everything that I said to you guys in my previous video about Killian Hayes, just, it's just crazy. Who else? What else happened last? Oh, the Rockets. Oh my God. Did you guys see John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins? Did you see the Boogie Down Boys? Did you see the homie John Wall? John Wall looks like John Wall. He looks like he never had an injury. Look how fast he is on the court. And yes, I know, guys, it's preseason, but when you see the quickness of John Wall and you see that he still has that pep in the step, you have nothing but good thoughts about this kid in the future. I don't see how Harden is not enticed to stay on his team. If Harden stays on Houston Rockets and DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall remain healthy for this season and the playoffs, I see them as the biggest threat to the Lakers. Truly indeed. Because you got a center in DeMarcus Cousins who can stretch the floor. I truly believe that if James Harden sucks it up and remains a Rocket, that Houston they have the biggest chance of knocking LA off. I'm not talking about the Clippers. The Clippers, I don't see them going anywhere. People say that they're going to be like the 3rd, 4th seed. No, I see them in the 6th, 7th, 8th range because it's so many teams. You got LA Lakers. If James Harden remains with Houston Rockets, I expect for them to be better than the Clippers. You have the Denver Nuggets. You have the Portland Trail Blazers. Did you see your boy Melo go off last night? Vintage Melo. And you guys know I'm a Carmelo Anthony stan. He's my favorite player of all time. I've never held that much love for a player the way that I love Carmelo. I'm talking about since Syracuse days. When I first started watching, I seen a couple of his AAUs, a couple of them, I think I watched him in the McDonald's game. I believe I watched Carmelo in that game. And then when he went to Syracuse, I watched him there too. And then when he came to the league and played for Denver, I was watching him, especially when he came to New York. It was like one of the happiest days of my life. But Carmelo went off last night. Perfect, beautiful. I love that kid. More power to him. Best wishes of luck to Carmelo Anthony. Do what you're doing, brother. Houston will be a problem. So we got LA Lakers, Houston Rockets, Portland Trail Blazers, Denver Nuggets. I expect for, who else could I say are better than, I believe that Minnesota will be better than the Clippers. Yes, I do. I believe that Minnesota will be better than the Clippers. Utah, that's where we get to the 6, 7, and 8 range with the Clippers. Because Utah, Golden State, who else over there? San Antonio Spurs. The teams in that range, I see those guys all fighting for that 6, 7, and 8 seed. But as you can see, I see 5 teams on the Western Conference that's better than the Clippers, basically. What else did I see last night? Atlanta will not change. They have no defense. I mean, Bogdanovich and Trae Young that backcourt is going to be horrendous on defense. Powerful on offense, but horrendous on defense. What else did I see last night? Who else played last night? I think those was the only teams, right? The Knicks, Portland, and who did Portland even play? You know they was garbage. If I don't even know who Portland, they played Sacramento Kings. Trash. Sacramento Kings are trash. I don't understand how De'Aaron Fox got all that money. The kid cannot hit a jump shot to save his life. Yo, did you see Carmelo Anthony on this kid? Oh my God. He made Carmelo Anthony look like the defensive player of the year. And we all know Carmelo Anthony is not a great defensive player. But Carmelo Anthony is an average defensive player. He was basically leaving De'Aaron Fox open, and De'Aaron Fox was hitting the front rim on everything. Buddy Hield is on his way out. I can see it. Buddy Hield is on his way out. Giles went off on them. I guess he held some animosity. That was his revenge game. But overall, Sacramento, they're at the bottom of the totem pole. I see them in that draft lottery again this year. Who else played? The Lakers and the Clippers. Yeah, I talked to you guys about that. Montrezl Harrell. Let me show you how trash the Clippers is. Through the first 2 quarters, Kawhi Leonard had like 3 points. Paul George had like 10, right? Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Caldwell Pope had, guess how much? 0. Why? Because they didn't play. And it still looked like the Lakers were better than the Clippers at certain parts of the game. You get what I'm saying? So I just don't see it with the Clippers. I don't see it. I see that being a very controversial team. Just like I see Brooklyn Nets. And no, I'm not hating because I'm a Knicks fan. I just don't see first of all, I don't know where you guys are getting this. Kevin Durant is still awesome. I'm pretty sure he's still going to be a great player, but he looks different. If you look at the little video that they posted with him driving to the basket on Joe Harris, he basically pushed Joe. That was an offensive foul. And they talk about, this KD. He looks so slow and out of shape. He does not look like the same KD. And I don't care what you say. You can say that I'm hating that he's not on the Knicks. That I just don't like him, or Kyrie Irving. I'm just speaking from what I saw. He basically pushed Joe Harris. If you go back and look at that video with Joe Harris guarding Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant do his little signature spin and fade away Dirk Nowitzki mid-range jumper, which we all thought was going to be a 3 until we saw the basket. Like, that's pretty close. And you seen it bounce off every part of the rim before it went in. Kevin Durant looked slow. He offensive foul. It was offensive foul. He forearmed and shouldered Joe Harris. If you look at the video and you look at Joe Harris' face, he's like, hey, come on, man. Just practice. He looked like he was very upset that Kevin Durant did that to him. So all this, people talking about, the Nets this, the Nets that. Yes, I expect for the Nets to make the playoffs. I expect for the Nets to be dominant in the East. But you are not going to sit up here and tell me that Kevin Durant, which I never thought anyways, is better than LeBron, or is still the same Kevin Durant. I can look at him and see he's not the same player that he was before that Achilles injury. So I don't care who says that I'm hating, what you say, I don't care. My ears are closed because I know what I saw, and I saw what I saw, and I'm going to say what I saw. Kyrie Irving, I ain't seen nothing from him and really don't care about him. He's a bozo. He's a great basketball player, but he's a bozo. His personality, he's arrogant, he's stuck up, he's a bozo, and really he doesn't even deserve to be in the NBA, because I'm glad that they fined him, because you can't just sit up here and say, oh, I'm not talking to media, when the media is the reason why you get the money that you're getting today. And then gonna make up a stupid reference about, oh, I hope that this goes to the family that's in need, when you are the vice president of the players union. Stupid. You make the decisions where that money go to. How you gonna say that and hope you go when you the one that's gonna send it off to somewhere? How? Kyrie Irving is just stupid. I swear, he does not know how to talk to people. He is not professional. He is not professional. He has no respect. He has no dignity for other people. He is not humble at all. He always says stuff and then can't backtrack it, so he always try to laugh things off after he says some bull crap to people, like what he did with LeBron. Kyrie Irving is the worst role model that a person could ever have in the world. Straight facts. Well, let me see how long I've been on here with you guys. I've been on here for 55 minutes, going on 56 minutes with you guys, and I'm not going to hold you up any longer. But if you did like this episode of Oh You a Knicks podcast, please make sure that you like and subscribe and share. Catch me on Twitter, on Sports Blog. Catch me on Twitter at Oh You a Knicks fans page. Catch me on YouTube all the time, because trust and believe, more podcasts will be coming you guys' way, because as long as the Knicks are around, I'm going to be around. Also, catch me on Sports Blog. If you go to my Twitter page, you can see a link right there. Look at my current story of how I felt about the preseason game. I've shared a link. It's going to be in the description. Thank you guys for the support because I've noticed that I've been getting more followers. So I truly do appreciate you guys. The thing about it is, I do this for my Knicks fans and NBA fans of that mindset too. Because at the end of the day, I feel that it's a lot of NBA podcasts that typically ride bandwagons, and I'm not your typical person that's gonna ride a bandwagon. I'm gonna give you the truth every time, so you can understand me, whether you agree or not, or disagree. It doesn't matter. I just want you to know that at the end of the day, that I'm gonna give you the real. So if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification button, because we're gonna be uploading all the time. The NBA season is not yet here, but the preseason has begun, and we are going to give you live updates anytime, any new trades, any new news, whatever's going on with the New York Knicks. And I thank you guys who've been following me, man, because you guys make this possible. You guys following me and, just communicating with me and letting me know that you guys appreciate my show. All you guys do is just fuel my ambition of, generating more work for you guys. I truly do love it, and I truly do appreciate you guys. So until next time, just peace, man, and I'll see you guys later.
I'm just scratching the surface.